What happens when three men disappear from a locked room in the middle of the ocean? In December 1900, in the remote and merciless Flannan Isles, off the coast of Scotland, a light went out, and with it, three souls were swallowed by the silence. This is the story of what was left behind. It all began with darkness. On December 15th, 1900, the steamship Archtor passed by Eilean Moor Island and noticed the unthinkable. The lighthouse, the vital sentinel of that dangerous route, was dark, a bad omen. It took another 11 days before the supply ship, the Hesperus, finally arrived to investigate. As they approached, a heavy silence hung over the island. No welcoming flag, no keepers on the dock to receive their provisions. Just the sound of waves breaking against the rocks and the empty gaze of the stone tower. The captain, feeling a growing dread, sent one of his men, Joseph Moore, to find out why the light had died. Moore climbed the stone steps and found the entrance door unlocked. Inside, time had stopped. The kitchen was in a chilling state of order. A plate of bread and cheese sat on the table, untouched. A single chair was overturned, as if someone had stood up in a sudden jolt. The clock on the wall had stopped. There was no sign of a struggle, no sign of violence. There was only the overwhelming feeling of abandonment, the sense that, in an instant, the life in that place had simply ceased. The three men, Thomas Marshall, James Ducat, and Donald MacArthur, were nowhere to be found. The only witness was the lighthouse logbook, and its final entries offered no answers, only more fear. On December 12th, the principal keeper wrote of a brutal storm, with winds the likes of which he'd never seen. He described one of his men, the giant Donald MacArthur, crying, a veteran of the sea, broken down in tears. The next day, the entry was short. The storm continued. God is over all of us. And then, the final entry on the 15th. Storm ended, sea calm. God is over all. But here is the detail that turns a mystery into terror. No other ship, no other station on the Scottish coast reported any storm on those days. The sea was calm, so what storm did only the men in the lighthouse see? The official explanation was simple and brutal: a freak wave, a colossal, unexpected wall of water that could have swept the island, taking the men with it as they tried to secure their equipment. It's a force of nature that defies the imagination, a logical theory, but it doesn't explain everything. It doesn't explain why one of the men went out into a Scottish winter without his waterproof oilskin coat, and it certainly doesn't explain the phantom storm recorded in the logbook. Was the wave so sudden it made them record their fear days before it happened? Or were the entries about a different kind of storm? Perhaps the storm wasn't outside, but inside. Isolation is a powerful weapon. Three men, locked in a stone tower, with the infinite ocean as their only neighbor. The psychological pressure is immense. Could the solitude have broken one of them? Could a futile argument have turned into a bloody tragedy? A fit of madness ending with two bodies at the bottom of the sea, and a third throwing himself in after, consumed by guilt. The overturned chair, could it be the only trace of a violence the sea washed away forever? The locals always said the Flannan Isles were ancient places, filled with legends, places that did not like to be disturbed. The logbook entries, the fear, the crying, the prayers, were they a reaction to something they saw, something that emerged from the dark depths of the Atlantic? Not a wave, but a creature; not a storm, but the presence of something ancient and hungry, drawn to the lonely light in the darkness. Did the lighthouse beam awaken a secret the ocean had kept for millennia? In the end, we have no answers. The bodies of the three keepers were never found. The logbook was their final word, an echo of fear from a deserted island. Decades have passed. The lighthouse was automated. Now no human soul inhabits that rock, but the light continues to sweep across the darkness, night after night, a silent sentinel, spinning over an empty sea, a perpetual reminder that some questions are not meant to be answered. The lighthouse keeps watch, and the ocean keeps its secret.